Bonjour everyone, Pantoufleee here today for a new video concerning the AMX M445, a video that a lot of you suggested on my Discord, so here it is, the mighty gift to you guys. What do you need to know about this tank? I know a lot of people hate it, and not necessarily for the right reasons, but I can understand you, because when you play with this tank, you just arrived from the tier 6, which is an absolute beast, and in my opinion, the best Frenchie in this game, aka the ARL-44. This tank is a beast, it has everything, and when you're playing it, you're the king of the battlefield. Whereas, when you arrive at tier 7 with this one, you receive an extremely weak tank when it comes to armor, and I can understand that some people are getting lost about how to play that tank, and especially where to place yourself on the battlefield. Don't worry, I'm here to help you. Because this tank is actually very nice, and as you can see, I enriched mine. I enriched mine because I kinda enjoy it. Let me explain to you real quick what are the strengths and the problems that this tank has. First thing first, concerning the strength, I would say there are two of them. The first one being the gun. The gun on this tank is literally amazing. Beside the aim time, because your aim time is 5 seconds, which is quite long, but the gun dispersion is really great. The DPM is OP, the reload time, therefore, the DPM is great. The reload time is great as well, 5.5 seconds. Your average penetration will allow you to sneak shots on pretty much everything, even without using gold shells. Your average damage is fine as well, 225 every 5.5 seconds will do the job. And your gun depression is insane with 10 degrees, allowing you to work perfectly on the elite terrains. So when it comes to the gun, overall, it's an extremely reliable tank. The problem comes from the armor profile that we're going to see after, don't worry. But for the traverse speed and the mobility overall, let's say that the traverse speed of this tank is insane. Really, you have 43 degrees per second with your hull, and you also have 36 degrees per second with your turret. Now, the main problem is this mobility, which is not the best, not the worst either. Let's say that it's completely average. How am I equipping my tank? Gun rammer, because I don't need to increase my penetration, as I told you, it's already great. Enhanced gun laying drive to reduce a little bit my aim time. And finally, refined gun. And I really want you to understand why I'm playing with refined gun, because if you don't, you are going to end up with way more gun dispersion, which is horrific. 0.35 is way too much. You want to lower it down to 0.31. After, for the vitality, I first go for the defense system because I'm not going to ram anybody. Improved assembly because I don't have armor, you're going to see after. Toolbox because an instruct is useless. Improved optics because I want to spot for myself. I'm not a tank destroyer, I don't need a camo. Engine accelerator to increase a little bit my overall speed because as I told you it's quite average, so if we can just upgrade it a little bit, that would be awesome. And finally, high-end consumable to be able to use adrenaline for a longer period of time in case I need to hold a flank, a line, or even finish off a target in front of me. But everything fades away when you take a look at the armor profile. Just look at this. Even without clicking anywhere on the tank, you already know how easy it's going to become to penetrate that thing. Even the lower part of the hull is not a weak spot, considering the whole tank is a big moving weak spot. Look at this. Only 155 millimeters of armor here, 122 millimeter there, and it's not even the best for the turret. Just look at how easy it is for people to penetrate you. And that's where people are actually really struggling with this tank. The fact that you don't have armor makes it quite hard to play. I'll come back to that pretty soon, don't worry, but nah, it's really easy to penetrate you, so just be careful not to show your sights to your opponents, and don't even try to side scrape or angle your tank. It's completely useless. Everybody will penetrate you, so your best chances of not getting HE'd is probably staying in front of your opponents like this, or pray for them to shoot at somewhere here on your gun mantlet, because if it's not the case, they will definitely penetrate. And it doesn't change anything being at 10 degrees of gun depression and using the maximum, because even here it's quite easy to penetrate you, and considering your turret is easily penetrable as well, you will not bounce any shots most of the time, so you need to play it smartly. I'm going to show you the playstyle live, guys, because the playstyle doesn't really change considering if you are top tier or bottom tier. All you need to understand when you're playing your MX M445 is that you are a heavy tank. that he's supposed to play in support. Most of the tanks that are playing support have a good mobility, so they can relocate, so they can take advanced position, etc. It's not the case of the AMX M445, which means that you have the same mobility as pretty much every other heavy tanks in the game, but you don't have the armor. And that's where you gotta play it smartly. And that's exactly what we're gonna try to do here. Luckily for me, I managed to track that boy here. I'm gonna try to sneak in another one. Perfect. And popping some adrenaline to hopefully sneak some shots on that M6. If I'm lucky enough, I'm gonna kill it, but no. The game decided something else for me, but it's not a problem. As you can see, for the moment, I'm playing not in a position that allows my enemies to shoot at me. You want to use your 10 degrees of gun depression when you're playing with your AMX M445, because if you don't, you are going to get crushed. For example, here, there is the ISU 152 that is camping behind and tried to penetrate me in the cupola. That was actually a wise move. I wouldn't have tried that if I was one, but that was a wise move, gotta be honest. They're all camping in the back. Yes, they are. Okay, let's try to sneak some shots on that SU, as long as he's still here. But as you can see, unlike an Annihilator or a Smasher with which I would have pushed here, I'm staying in the back. Because if I do push, I'm gonna get crushed. There is no way I'm not getting penetrated. Except, of course, against that 87, which seems not to be the luckiest 87 out there. Come on, I can't really go too far there, so I'm gonna wait on that AT. I'm probably gonna take another shot, but it's not a problem. Okay, I get it. The guy is playing with the, you know, the pew-pew gun, which helps me a lot with destroying the boy. So there we go. Now we have to deal with the Annihilator. Unfortunately, I'm getting penetrated, and there is probably another guy behind. Annihilator is probably gonna try to sneak some shots on me as well. There is the Nashorn. I'm gonna focus on the Annihilator, but I'm probably gonna get penetrated. Yeah, as I told you, with this tank you are not meant to take shots, which kind of makes it lame to play. But it's not a problem, it's not a problem. We're still in the game, boys. We're still in the game. And of course there was that SU that had to shoot his HE. Man, I want to cry. But it's not a problem, it's not a problem. Here we go. 3, 2, 1. Are we gonna get killed? Yeah. Ah, too greedy, too greedy. I was thinking that he was reloading as he was not shooting at the T26 C3 Eagle 7, but that was my mistake. We ended the game winning, so it's not a problem. I did probably like 3k damage or something. And as you can see, when you try to push with this tank, there is literally no way you can make it out alive, because you're gonna get crushed. I mean, everybody can penetrate you easily, so you don't want to try what I did at the end of the game. No, with this tank you want to play in support. I'm gonna try another game, another game, maybe bottom tier, just to show you how different the playstyle can be. Concerning the second playstyle, when you're bottom tier, things are changing. When you're top tier, you're gonna try to play aggressively while still playing in support. What I mean by that is that you're gonna take an aggressive position from which you can actually shoot your targets, but you can come back to a safe position while reloading. You are not exposing your tank in those positions. When it comes to bottom tier with this tank, it's extremely important for you to play in support. You are not here to take shots. You are not here to spot for your team. You are not here to just brawl it. No, you are here to use your gun only. You want to play it sneaky. You want to avoid the direct contact, exactly like we are not doing right now. And this way, it will allow you to kind of use your DPM at the best you can, or possibly can. Because for the moment, when you take a look at the map, as you can see, we're splitted. I decided to go with the main forces I had simply because I felt like they could need my help to prevent the enemies from pushing. I mean, if we are in a, I don't know if, probably that the enemy team, they're all stacked together on the left side of the map. So if they pushed us, they would have destroyed us. But there is a fear factor. As we are 4 against 7 and not 3 against 7, it prevents them from pushing. It's kind of a psychological warfare or something like this, let's say. But as you can see, how is the playstyle different from the previous game. In the previous game, I actually was brawling. I was actually the one that people wanted to shoot. Here, I'm trying to make myself as little as possible just to be able to deliver shots without getting shot back, because at tier 8, people have a way better penetration than they do at tier 7, but also a way better DPM, way better alpha damage, and those shots are gonna be wasted if they encounter my hull, because oh boy, are you a piece of cheese for tier 8 tanks. And that's exactly what we're doing right now. We are waiting for people not to pay attention to us to be able to deliver our best shells, especially when we're popping some adrenaline. So there we go, we staked a lot of shots on the T-29. Unfortunately for us, we did not manage to kill him out before he sneaks his shots as well. And now what I'm doing here is playing my tank as its fullest, which means basically camping from a long distance position while using my gun only. There we go for the shot on the AMX. We'll not have time, unfortunately, for us to sneak in another one, but we're gonna wait for him around the corner. He is gonna poke. You're gonna see it's quite easy. There we go again. And now we only use against tier 8s our DPM without fearing taking any shots. I'm a 2-shot for both of those tanks, so the more they are trying to kill my allies and not paying attention to me, the better I'm gonna feel about myself. So there we go. I was expecting them to die right now, but they're gonna make it out somehow. I don't know how they did that, but they did. That's all that matters. We sneak in another shot on the AMX 5100. We are gonna go for an HE, but it was a little bit ambitious. So instead, we're gonna try to go for the AMX. We finish off the game with 3 kills and 3.2k damage. And as you can see, we played in support, not trying to rush through, because if you do, you are gonna get crushed. We ended up the game with an ace tanker and a lot of credits. And that's pretty much how you want to play your AMX M445. If you enjoyed, feel free to subscribe, like, and share. And I'm going to see you soon for a new video. Au revoir.